Got a good one on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, good footwork on the spin. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about... ...24.
Go, 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 run!
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Play action. Now Wentz. They'll roll him out right. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Throwing is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some...
Normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Tannehill. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. The communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Rush coming, and he's is taken down. Ndamukong Suh busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, that's exactly why you go and get Alshon Jeffrey from the Bears. When you're able to throw it up like that, forget 50-50 balls. What is that more like? What, a 90-10 for him?
That's what he calls them. He calls them 90-10 balls. I love that line and respect his ability. He can go up and get it. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Over the middle to Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They run again with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second time. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Giving to the big tight end on 4th. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them. But it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Miami's offense getting ready to come back out onto the field. Take a step back, Charles. You look at the Dolphins in 2017. Look, they were 10-6 in 2016. Many people thought, wow, here we go. 2017 high hopes. They limped to a 6-10 finish, however.
Yeah, and you use the word limped, and it started with the injury to Ryan Tannehill. His knee in preseason, in camp. And then they decided to bring in Jay Cutler. That didn't work the way they expected to work at the quarterback position. Jay Ajayi was a Pro Bowl, well over 1,000-yard runner the year before. The chemistry wasn't right. He gets traded to Philadelphia midseason. And Jarvis Landry, over 100 catches this year, but yards per catch, well below 10 yards. So when you add it all together, not what they expected on the offensive side of the ball.
The tight end Julius Thomas, the intended target, and it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
On second down, here's Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They run with Ajayi. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Working from the gun. Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Tannehill on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
I know all players are taught from drive to drive, from series to series, let that go, right? Only focus on the now. But when that ball was tipped in the air, there's no way they weren't thinking about the interception that was thrown on the previous drive. Could this turn into a second one? And if it did, that could really change the way this game was going.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And how will Pulavate Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
Ajayi
hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blount, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year? And 18 touchdowns in the regular season? And no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
To throw is Tannehill. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 38. Now a play fake here on first down. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off at the 33. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers. Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return will cost him about a dozen yards or so, but his guys do indeed get the football back.
And as a defender, if you're going with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that, but to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
Which is here. I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, offensive, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely has been a constant.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story, as you and I were talking about off. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When they'd line up, go ahead, and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
There's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Here's Ajayi. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Wentz to throw on second down. Flushed out right. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play. This is Ajayi. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a full... ...8 yards. And it sets him back for second down. Here's Wentz to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. On play action, Wentz steps away, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Andre Branch able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions.